A lot of the things that are popular right now are kind of remakes of things from the past. So I think that history will just keep repeating itself. I don't know what's cool, like high-waisted jeans, crop tops, things like that. That's just repeating something that was already popular in the past. So I think history will just keep repeating itself, and we'll see some of the same stuff again. I think people are drawn to old things because all of this stuff on this rack has a story. So everything that you wear that's vintage kind of lived a life before you. So it's kind of interesting, at least people who are into history and things like that, to know that you're giving a new life to something old. So I mostly go to estate sales and thrift stores, and I search through the racks, find things that are of the era that I'm looking for, and I buy them, I take them home and wash all the clothes. If I can't wash them, I get them dry cleaned. I press everything and steam it and get it ready for the shop, and I tag it and bring it here to the antique mall. On the tags, I will usually write the decade that it's from, because a lot of people don't know. They have to go to like a 70s party and they don't know exactly what stuff's from the 70s. So I'll always write the decade that it's from, and just a little description, and I don't know what else.
What are your most popular items?
Most popular items right now have been little 60s mini dresses. We also sell a lot of 50s day dresses, like shirtwaist kind of dresses, and then little cropped shirts and like high-waisted jeans and things like that. Cut-off shorts, that kind of thing. My favorite things are probably furniture, which is in my house. My whole house is totally retro. And at the old shop, we had a lot of furniture. We sold mid-century couches and chairs and kitchenware and stuff like that. So my very favorite things are furniture. I found a couch. I actually found a couch in an alley. That's kind of what started my furniture thing. I found an awesome teal 60s couch in an alley, and that kind of changed my whole look on furniture and things like that. I don't know, I found a lot of good stuff. I'm kind of a hoarder. I keep everything that fits me that I like, so this shop's kind of a way for me to not be as much of a hoarder. I get the satisfaction of buying all of the cool things, and I don't have to keep all of them in my house. So it was 5 years ago. My mom was opening a vintage furniture consignment store, and I had started to get into looking for vintage clothes at that time, and I asked her if I could have one rack of clothes in the back of the shop for 50s through 70s vintage clothing. She finally agreed, so I did that, and we started seeing a lot of college students, young people come in looking for that stuff, so it kind of expanded over time, and now I'm just doing vintage clothes. We spent a year on 4th Avenue, and then we were at Heritage Station for 4 years, and now we've been at the Antique Mall for 1. Well, you don't make any money, but it's so much fun. It's definitely, that's why we've had to move to the Antique Mall. It's definitely more of a hobby type of thing, at least in this town, as much as that hurts me to say. But it's so much fun. It doesn't even feel like a second job. It's just the best time ever. What they may not know, that there's kind of there's a big process involved from the time. I spend a lot of time searching for things. A lot of times I don't find anything for the shop. And then once I do, it's kind of a lot of work getting everything prepped and ready to come here to the shop.
How often do you go looking for things?
Every weekend. In the winter, there's not as much opportunity to, so it's kind of a bummer. But it's getting warmer in the spring. Sales will start picking back up. So yeah, that's the best part of my week, is going out on Saturday mornings looking for things.
How do you find estate sales to go to?
I look in the newspaper and on Craigslist, and a lot of companies that run estate sales have mailing lists, so they send me emails when they're coming up. But a lot of them you find nothing. You just have to keep going to all of them.
How do you know when you like walk into like an estate sale that you know that it's gonna be a good one?
Oh, because you can just tell. It's if nothing has been updated in the house. So you walk in and there's shag carpet or there's like big heavy drapes. It's like you can tell that time kind of stopped. And that's what I love the most. I always go all the way upstairs to the closets first. I go to the top of the house. But yeah, and a lot of times you'll go to estate sales and they will have cleaned out the closets because the family doesn't think that clothes are worth anything. So that's always a bummer. But yeah, you can always tell as soon as you walk in a house if everything is from like that era, you know that they've held on to things. We had a wedding dress from the 20s at the last shop, and that was really cool. We've had several pieces from the 20s, like lace flapper kind of dresses. A lot of that stuff's very fragile though, so we don't sell a lot of it just because we want everything to be wearable. We don't want it to be something that someone's just gonna have for show. We want it to actually be wearable.